All right, happy new year to all of you wrong people out there. Welcome to the first episode of 2022. We did it. I know. That's kind of crazy to say, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's Morgan and Ryann back for another episode, another year, hopefully.
Yeah, we'll see how long it lasts.
Yeah, right? Oh, it's like a really morbid start. Oh, sorry, guys. Anyway, how are you doing, Ryann? How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I really cannot believe it's been another year. Like, we have now had basically 2 full years of pandemic / life after pandemic. And yeah, that's just
I don't even know
wild.
If there is a life after pandemic. I think this is like the new normal.
Right.
Like, I don't think masks are going away. I don't really know. Are people just going to keep getting boosters? Like, I'm not really sure.
I don't know. I mean, I've basically made masks like a part of my makeup routine now. I'm like, okay,
right? Yeah.
Put some blush up here, you know?
Yeah, ditch the lipstick. It's all about the eyes, all about the brows, which is very important. We love a good brow. Love a strong brow.
Yeah, let's not take it back to like 2010 though. We don't need block eyebrows anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm just barely getting like a feathered look. I've been working really hard this past year. And I'm finally getting there. So I really hope this trend like stays for at least a couple more years, because I don't know if it switches up on me here in 2022. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Just shave them off and start over. I don't know.
Yeah, just do the no brow look, you know, just go completely bald. Like, just rock it. It's a look.
It is a look. It is a statement look. Maybe that's what I need, like a big change for the new year. No eyebrows.
Yeah, don't get bangs. Just get less eyebrows, less body hair.
Well, the bangs will cover up the no eyebrows. Takes away from the.
So either or. So it's either bangs or no brows. So.
Right. Either way, no brow will be visible.
Right.
Whether it's shaved off or covered with a bang.
Yeah.
A fringe. A fringe if you're in the UK. Ooh. I know. So much more fun to say.
I know. Fringe. That's fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, I'm good. I've been having some heavy revelations in my therapy. There's been some serious shit to uncover, as you know. Morgan's my best friend, and there's not much that I won't tell the world, but there's a few things that are coming out in therapy, and I'm like, well, here we are. Welcome to trauma. That's fun.
So fun. But it's worth
true.
It. Yeah.
No,
it's totally worth it.
Right. I will like seriously add that my anxiety levels have drastically decreased since really digging in therapy, and also just speaking my truth like in every day of my life. My therapist kind of told me basically that I'm a passive aggressive person.
What?
Hold on.
I'm just kidding.
Oh.
I'm so sorry. Maybe my sarcasm isn't as strong in the new year as it used to be. I'm sorry.
Like, okay. Yeah.
I know you're in the middle of a moment. I'm so sorry.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Can you just let me have this? Fuck.
I know.
Can't even have it in 2022. Anyway. No, passive aggressive, which I think passive aggressive comments versus being passive aggressive are two very different things. Mm-hmm. And so I don't usually use like passive aggressive comments. I usually kind of just say what I'm feeling. However, I do let a lot of things pass me by because I'm like, I don't want to bring it up in the moment, if that makes sense. So there is a difference between being passive aggressive, like in the moment, and being a passive aggressive person. And so, and obviously you can be both, but you don't have to. They're not mutually exclusive. Anyways, point being, that leads to a lot of the issues that I have in my life, because I would rather just let something, go by, even if it's really upsetting me, I'd rather just let it go by and then when it finally comes to it, I'm just like, fuck all this. Like, I just kind of let it all out. And so I'm trying every day. It's really hard. It's a struggle to just be more honest in that way. And I think that is something that a lot of people can relate to, because every day you just don't feel like you really have the bandwidth to be emotional. Like, you know, and I can't necessarily speak for anybody else, but I think most people, especially me, would rather just let it go, you know, but it doesn't really just go anywhere, right? You're just kind of bottling it up or pushing it down or ignoring it. And then on some random situation, it just all comes out. And so, yeah, so I will say, like, being in therapy, my anxiety levels have decreased, because it takes a lot of hard work to be able to, like, say the things that I've been able to say in those therapy sessions. So I am thankful for that. But it's hard fucking work. Do not be don't misunderstand me. Like, therapy is fucking work. And but if you have the privilege to do it, and you know, you have the space to do it, like, I highly recommend it, because a lot of the shit that we deal with is easily treatable, like we talked about on the therapy episode, but it doesn't mean that it's not going to open you up like a motherfucking book. I mean, sometimes I really, like, literally, like, sometimes I feel physically naked, but it's because, like, I feel so vulnerable sometimes in these sessions. Is that, you know what I mean? Like, that's so weird to say, but like, sometimes it feels almost as if I'm like big, like, physically naked, but I'm not. It's just that I feel so vulnerable, and like, holy shit, like, emotions are pouring out of me like a faucet. You know what I mean? It's just so wild. So anyways, point being, it's going well. But it takes a lot of fucking work. So
it does. It really does. I can definitely agree with that. I'm working through my own stuff. But from where I was a year ago to where I am now, I would not take it away. You know what I mean? Sorry. I would rather do the work and kind of understand myself more. I think that is really huge for me. I want to understand where I'm coming from, why I do what I do, you know, understanding my behaviors, I think it helps me understand other people more as well.
Yes.
You know, and I think when I see someone's behavior and I don't necessarily agree with it, I come from it more so from a place of thinking, okay, maybe they're not dealing with X or Y or Z, right? Like, they say, oh, you never know what's going on in someone else's life, like, treat people kindly, which, yes, is true, but I feel like I have a better understanding of that because I'm doing work on myself.
Okay. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that is true. I also think that there's something to be said about not always giving people the benefit of the doubt.
Right, that's true too. And especially if you are learning better communication skills, you are being more vulnerable, you're not doing maybe passive aggressive behaviors that you did in the past. Now you also are coming to a place where you don't necessarily want to tolerate that behavior from other people who aren't doing the work.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, some people's behaviors will actually just be shitty, and you can call that at face value. Right. And I think sometimes I kind of get in my own way when I give people the benefit of the doubt. Well, maybe they were just doing, like you said, maybe they're just going through this, or, you know I was upset when this happened to me, so maybe they're just going through this and that and this, or maybe they're just being shitty to you, and you can also just acknowledge that part of it and how it made you feel, and deal with that instead of always trying to assume others' intentions. Right. You know what I mean? It's not even just about having expectations like, oh, I hope that they're nice, or I hope that they do this thing well to me, I hope that they're loyal, whatever. Sometimes it's just, we had this interaction and they were shitty, and I want to acknowledge the way that made me feel. That's it. And that helps a lot, because I think trying to give people the benefit of the doubt ends up backfiring and biting you in the ass more than just realizing what happened and moving on. You know what I mean? Like,
right. And I don't think it's just like, oh, okay, I'm just going to accept their poor behavior towards me because they might have something going on. You know, you have a right to your own boundaries, and you have a right to what kind of energy you want around you.
Right.
So you can draw that line wherever is most comfortable for you.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, if you're doing the work, then you are understanding what you can tolerate and what you just won't.
Yeah.
Which is empowering.
Yeah, it definitely. But anyway, how are you?
Oh, after all that, no. I am good. Another year older. I got hair extensions for the first time. I don't know if we talked about that yet.
No.
It's like a new experience for me. It's like, I don't know. I don't know if I ever saw myself as like a hair extension girl, but she's doing it.
Yeah.
It happened.
Mean, but let's be clear. You're not like Paris Hilton circa 2003. You know?
I know my hair is to my shoulders, but my extensions are to my waist. No,
yeah.
no, right. I wanted them for thickness. My hair is really thin. As you know, when I put it in a ponytail, it literally it's so tiny. It's like, I don't even know what to compare it to. Like my lip gloss, like it's so thin and like tiny. So I was like, I don't want it longer. Honestly, I probably would have chopped it shorter if she would have let me, but I know Ryan's always advocating for my short hair. This is the longest I had it for a long time. So I was like, oh, but I know I've just been like a short hair kind of girl for a long time too. So I told her when I paid for the extensions, I was like, I don't want it long. I just want to make it thick. Yes. With 2 C's. So far, so good.
Yeah. We like our hair extensions just like we like our dick. Thick.
Thick. 2 C's. So, so that's been kind of fun, kind of different, trying to work that out, you know. Yeah. But yeah, other than that,
you look good. You look good.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Trying. trying anything, right?
Yeah, trying something new, right? Which, you know, trying
new year, new me.
Yeah,
people
new
say
year, that. New year, new you, new do.
Ooh,
new dude, maybe also.
Oh, well, maybe. Yes, you know, let's put out that kind of energy.
There you go.
There we go. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. AKA I want dick energy, but we'll move on.
Oh my God, I know. So my therapist did say that. We had this like really deep conversation. I was like, oh, I had this tough time. I don't know if I already mentioned this, so sorry if it's a repeat, guys, but I was just telling her, you know, I had a lot of feelings and I worked through it. And she was like, oh, I'm proud of you. You're like doing, you know, you make me a proud therapist, which I'm like, yay, I'm winning at therapy, which I'm like, Morgan, that's not how that works. Stop looking for validation outside of yourself. So, but towards the end of the conversation, I don't know how we got to dating, but she's like, well, I don't mean to be like TMI or anything, but do you think it might be that you need like to have sex? I was like, oh, I didn't even think of that. Huh.
Yeah, Morgan's like, I've just been so stressed and tense lately.
Right.
And I can't sleep well. My vibrator's dead. What should I do?
Right. I know. She's like, are you okay? I thought we were, I don't know. Yeah. No, she was just like, maybe you, because I was kind of saying stuff like that. I was like, I just feel like I don't have an outlet for these feelings and whatever. And so I see where she was coming from, and she's not wrong. You know, it has been a while.
Right.
So new year, new dick, hopefully.
Yeah. Refer back to our last episode about dating profiles, you know, maybe it's like your resume. You need to update the dating profile. You know what I mean? You need to list your new skills. You've got some new skills.
Yeah. Yeah. She's got extensions. She's a new woman.
Yeah.
Got 2022.
Right.
And for that dick.
Yeah. And if all else fails, you know, just put our Instagram handle in your dating profile.
So you can get a really in-depth account of how their personal business is going to be shared with our audience. Is that what I should do?
Yeah. That obviously is a winning
They should know the
combo.
Status of my bush. Yeah. Within the first 2 episodes. Yeah. I mean, if nothing else, they'll know the status of yours. So I'm like, my friends are my family. You need to know everything about them as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if they're going to catch me on FaceTime, who's to say what they will see? You know,
that is the truth. And we FaceTime all the time. So it could happen. It could happen.
Definitely.
Oh my gosh.
But anyway, Yeah, let's
so many
dive
goals.
in.
Yeah,
so
let's
many
get
goals.
to it. I know, so many premonitions and hopefully good energy for the new year coming up. So with all that being said, let's talk about New Year's resolutions.
Dun dun dun.
I know. I have mixed feelings on these, so we'll see. We'll see where this takes us.
Yeah. It's all a journey.
Right.
It's all a journey. You know?
It's a journey, yeah. We're just here for the ride. So when I was doing the research, I kind of wanted to think about where New Year's resolutions come from. And I feel like there's probably not just one place. There's so many different cultures and people. And, so I just found a few from history.com that I thought were kind of interesting. So we're not really going to cover everyone's, I don't know, history of this, but here are a couple. So first was the ancient Babylonians were said to be the first to make resolutions about 4,000 years ago. So they were also the first to hold recorded celebrations in honor of the new year, but this actually started in mid-March. And that was because that's when crops were planted. So they would have this massive 12-day religious festival known as, please forgive my pronunciation, Akitu. Don't come for me.
How do you spell that?
Akitu. How would you pronounce it?
Akitu. Yeah.
Akitu. Okay.
Do.
Oh, there you go. So they either crowned a new king or reaffirmed their loyalty to the current king. And they would make promises to the gods to pay their debts or return any objects that they had borrowed. And they're considered one of the first cultures to have some kind of records of New Year's resolutions.
Okay. I like the fact that it followed more of planting the seeds, which is like planting your intentions, right? And seeing how those work out. That totally makes way more sense than just like, it's 1-1.
It's 1-1, yeah. Right. And they didn't even follow that calendar. I don't even know if it existed yet. You know what I mean? It was a little bit different. It also, I just thought it was funny. You make promises to the gods to pay their debts and return any objects. So it's like, okay, you wore my shirt to that party, bitch, but now it's January. Where is it?
Yeah, anyone with siblings.
Oh my God.
It's like, New Year's resolution, I'm gonna need my things back. Remember that ring you took? I'm gonna need it back.
Yeah.
My ring.
My ring. I just thought of that too. Oh my gosh. Okay, so next one. So a similar practice occurred in ancient Rome. So after the reform-minded emperor, not my words. Obviously, I couldn't say them very succinctly. So the reform-minded emperor Julius Caesar changed the calendar. So again, I think back to the Babylonians, they weren't following. This came from Julius Caesar, as it says here. Established January 1st as the beginning of the year.
Okay.
And okay, so named for Janus, and all you Greek history buffs, please don't come for me. It's Janus. Did you say Janus? I don't think it's like Janus.
Maybe.
Right? That feels like a Norwegian pronunciation. I don't think it's
Janus. I don't know.
Janus.
I like Janus. I like thinking it's like a woman from Long Island. Janus.
That's I was thinking Janice from Friends too.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. So named for Janus, which is the two-faced god whose spirit inhabited doorways and arches.
Cool.
So I know. I was like, oh, not really like first pick on like the Greek god like dodgeball team, You got like Zeus and like Hera. And then there's like Janus just like hanging out in the doorway, like looking back and forth. They're like, are you gonna play or you just no? Okay. Cool.
It's like, no, I just really like the architecture.
Yeah. I'm just here for the archways.
I mean, there were a lot back then, so
Right, they did love.
Give her credit. She had a lot to deal with. Like,
there were many archways. Yes, that's true. You guys can't see this, or if you're not watching the YouTube, but Ryann just did like a head bob back and forth between archways. Yeah, it's a good little That was fun. So, so January had special significance for the Romans, believing that Janus symbolically looked backwards towards the previous year and ahead to the future. So the Romans offered sacrifices to the deity and made promises of good conduct for the coming year. So even though the archway thing is kind of funny, it does make sense if you're looking back,
right,
and looking to the future.
Yeah. Well, also something kind of just random and interesting is that not all cultures think of the past as looking back. Like some cultures actually believe that the culture is like in front of you, or I'm sorry, the culture. Some cultures believe that history is actually in front of you because you've already experienced it. You know what what already happened, and that the future is actually behind you because it's unpredictable, right? Anything can be behind you. You have no idea what's going on. So, you know what I mean? Like you can look at what's in front of you and analyze it, right? Whereas what's behind you, you can't because it's
like
there.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So I just had to mention that because I always thought that was really interesting that we look ahead to the future because it's like we really can't see it, but we really can. I mean, obviously,
but if you're thinking of the physical sense, you can
right.
see what's ahead of you. You can't see behind you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if Janice got it totally right, but
I mean, she's just like head bobbing back and forth all the time, apparently, in the doorways. So
yeah, constantly hard to have a conversation with.
What'd you say?
She's constantly looking over her shoulder. She's just like, I have a lot to worry about right now.
She's real shifty.
Yeah.
Just makes everyone anxious. Like, could you just chill for 5? Thanks, Janice.
Yeah.
Okay, so our last one. So for early Christians, the first day of the new year became the tradition for thinking about one's past mistakes and resolving to do and be better in the future. So some religious context. And let's see.
I mean, that's basically like, it's like a 12-step program, you know? Like they're just like, okay, it's the new year. Like you need to make up with everyone. You need to, you know, like make amends and, you know, kind of move on with a new start and, you know, get a tattoo. Yeah.
Does that get your tattoo removed?
Get your tattoo removed.
Bad choices last year. Do you think that means they're extra bad at the end of the year? They're like, oh, January 1st is coming up. We just got to really get it all out.
Oh, hell yeah. Like after Jesus's birthday, you know, they're like, yeah, let's fucking light this town on fire. You know what I mean?
Oh my God. So
I really hope most of our listeners have a humor about religion. You know, I really hope that most of our listeners can laugh about religion. But if you can't, I apologize.
I apologize.
Yeah, we have air quotes for the visual conversation.
So, okay, so this brought up in this example, and I wanted to see if you knew this because I know you grew up going to church. Watch night services. Have you heard that? Or did you ever go to any of those? Okay, I hadn't heard of that, but my family's not very religious, so I was kind of curious. So it includes readings from scripture, hymn singing. It's typically held on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. Would you guys go on New Year's Eve or day? Do you go like in the evening or which one?
Yeah, New Year's Eve. And basically you would just, I mean, and basically it was like going to a New Year's Eve party without like the fun parts of like the New Year's Eve party. But it was still fun because you would stay until like around like 1 a.m. And yeah, there'd be like music and like dances and, you know, like any it was basically honestly like a variety show, like any talents that like, you know, young kids had that they wanted to like showcase. But yeah, it was basically just like a celebration. It's very similar to like what a lot of churches, at least Christian churches that I've been to, do for like Halloween. Like they have like what do they call it? They call it something, but basically it's like not celebrating Halloween, but it's like they have like
a harvest festival.
A harvest festival. There you go. Yeah, exactly. So that was basically what it was. But yeah, it was always really fun. I mean, that's the thing. Like there's a lot of things about religion and church that I have a problem with, but the gatherings and things weren't one of them. Like, you know, having community events for people that maybe don't have like a lot of resources. There were always a lot of families that, you know, didn't have a lot of resources. And so they went to the church for, good meals, and like they would, always do some type of fundraiser or drive to like help like the families in need and things like that. So I never went to like mega churches and none of that weird shit where they were like, raising all this money and not giving back. Like we always went to pretty small churches that gave back heavily to the people that were in a part of like the congregation. So
I saw a story in the news recently. Sorry, just because you said mega churches, I just wanted to bring this up. It's so ridiculous. I know. So Joel Osteen has his mega church in Houston. Remember we saw it? I know. He's ridiculous.
That church
face looks so tight.
Yes, that church is huge, and he denied people during Hurricane Katrina until they like made him like allow them in. Whatever. Continue. We don't have to go into it.
This guy was, I think he was a plumber or custodial staff, was in the bathroom and one of the toilets was like loose. And so I don't know if he was repairing it or what this exact scenario was, but he ended up moving the toilet and like bags of money fell out of the walls.
Oh my gosh, I saw a meme about that. I didn't know what that was about.
Yeah, I saw a news story. I was just like, wow, like, and they were just kind of making fun of him, like, why is this guy calling? Oh, because he was calling a news, like a radio station. And they were like, this guy's an idiot. He shouldn't be calling the news. He should grab those money bags and take off,
I know.
So they were laughing at him, but I was just like, that is so wild. And then they showed the inside of the church. It looks like a Super Bowl stadium. Like, it's ridiculous.
No, it's absolutely ridiculous. And the fact that like 90% of their congregation is like living below the poverty line is just, I mean, let's be real. Most of the country now is living below the poverty line. Seriously, with like our debt ratio, like most of our country is below the poverty line. How we call ourselves a first world country is pretty much a joke at this point. But point being, like, these mega churches are basically like Walmart's, except they have to pay even less taxes than Walmart. And so they are operating, it's insane. Like the amount of money that goes through churches and does not make it back into those same communities is just absolutely asinine. It's ridiculous. So yeah, of course. I don't know. There's like a spoof show about mega churches on HBO. Have you seen it? What is it called with John Goodman?
Oh my gosh.
Shit, it's about that. It's about a mega church, and
yes, it's got Danny McBride.
Yes, it's so good though, because
I'm looking it up right now.
There's like one scene where they are separating the prayer papers from the donations, and they're literally just like pulling out the money and checks, putting them here, and then like throwing the prayer like prayer cards like onto the other side of the room and just like separating them. It's like a factory, but people actually think that people are praying for them and trying to like put goodwill toward them, and it's just fucking sick. We don't have to get into that anymore, but it's fucking gross, and I just wish they would have to pay taxes. But anyway.
Fair wish.
Yeah, but I'm a
there's
socialist.
The New Year's resolution. Yeah, put that out into the world.
There you go.
Okay, IMDb is being a little slow, but we will figure out the name. Don't tweet us.
Right.
Yeah. Or do join the conversation. Let us know. We do like Danny McBride. He's in some funny movies.
He signed my boobs.
He did. Oh my gosh.
Boobs. He signed my fucking boobs. His name right there. It was just a big D, which is very appropriate. You know what
I mean? Right on your chest.
Right there.
The Righteous Gemstones.
The Righteous Gemstones. That's it.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. It's an interesting show, but it's satirical, right? Like, it's making fun of it. Very ironic at moments, and sarcastic, but it's pretty spot on. Like, a lot of it is very factual. It's what actually happens at a lot of these mega churches. It's wild. Yeah. But anywho,
I think a new season is coming out, or is it out already? Has the new season started? I'm
not too sure, but yeah, I do know that it was coming back. Like, it was definitely coming back for another season.
Okay. Yeah. Check it out, guys. So just to wrap up this portion, so nowadays, the practice of New Year's resolutions is mainly secular. So According to recent research, while 45% of Americans say they make resolutions, only about 8% successfully achieve their goals.
Wait, so say that. So 45% make resolutions, and then out of that 45%, only 7%.
8.
Oh, 8%.
Only 8 successfully achieve the goal, the resolution.
Yeah, that's about right. That checks out. That doesn't surprise me.
Right. Yeah. So it's not great, but
yeah. I mean, but that's the thing. I mean, defining success at something is, that's kind of tough. I feel like people are really hard on themselves. We're all really hard on ourselves, I think.
Yeah.
And so when we talk about New Year's resolutions, like the reality is that if you haven't been working at said habit, or if you haven't been working towards something to really like change a part about yourself or about your activities or what you do, waiting for an arbitrary date is just not going to make a difference. I'm sorry. And like, I don't know about you, but when I was young, I don't remember what age I was. It was probably in my teens, but I remember waking up on New Year's Day and just being like, this is just another day. Like, I don't get why this is special. Like, you know what I mean? Like when I was young, it was fun. Like we drank apple cider, like you got to stay up late, it was like that special day of the year kind of thing. And I felt like New Year's Day, like this is cool. I don't know why. But it was a while. I was probably a little bit too old for it, but I was like, it's just one. Like, I'm not feeling the vibes.
It's just the start of me forgetting how to write the date for the next 6 months, because I'm going to do it incorrectly until at least July. So here we go.
Very true.
Yeah.
But yeah, that stat, it checks out. That fits about what I would have said. I would have said like, maybe I would have said probably about 50 to 60% of people make resolutions, like I'm going to write them down or like post them on social media because that keeps you accountable. No, it doesn't. And then about 10% probably stick with it, because I have seen some people that are like, oh, this year I'm going to incorporate more books into my life, and then they actually do, because I think that's like a feasible thing that's a little bit less, it's a little bit less of like a undertaking, right? It's not like this huge responsibility. Like I'm going to, I don't know. What are some, we're
actually going to get into that. Okay. Yeah. All right. So I went ahead and looked up what were like top resolutions for last year. Obviously we don't have the data for 2022 yet. So for top one, 50% of resolutions made were in regards to doing more exercise or improving your fitness, which like, of course. Yeah. Samesies. We all got through the holidays and like ate a bunch of cookies, or was that just me? I don't know. So
yeah, it's because your mom makes a lot of cookies.
It's like a factory. I know. It's nobody's cooking anything in this whole vicinity for the next, I don't know, month. Yeah. So we also get a lot of pie. There's always extra pie everywhere. I don't know if that's a good problem to have, I guess.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah. But that's the thing. When it comes to working out, it's like, I don't know. As I get older, I just feel like I do want to maintain what I have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm always so weird with resolutions and like, oh, we're going to do this, because like I said, it's just an arbitrary date. You can make a change anytime you want. And I think for me, like, I feel less pressure if I just say like, it's, March, like, let's start doing something, you know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, exercise is a good one. I understand why people think that. But for me, a good tip that I will just throw out there, someone that is not an expert in working out, just a person who has like found some effective things, is that like before you go out and like get like a gym membership and start actually paying your like hard-earned money to it, just start doing like home workouts. Just see if YouTube can inspire you for like more than 3 months. You know what I mean? Like if you can stick to like free YouTube videos for like 2 to 3 months, then maybe look into getting a gym membership. But like, that's when like the gyms get their most memberships, is like obviously within the new year, you know. And I get it. I get why you think that that would be motivating. Like, oh, you're paying this money, like it's motivating. But the reality is just that like it's mindset, you know, you have to like want it for yourself, just like anything else. So before I ever got a gym membership, yeah, I was just like, can I be motivated enough to just get off my couch and work out right here? Because if I can't, I'm not going to be motivated enough to drive somewhere, you know what I mean, to go sweat. So I would say that's like my little bit of advice. I don't have much. I'm not going to like advocate like, yeah, it just makes you feel so good. Actually, not all the time. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it does. Sometimes I get like a real high from working out, and it does give me a lot more energy when I work out in the morning. Like I think that it's going to make me tired for the day, but it actually doesn't. So that's good.
Yeah.
But I think that that's the most helpful thing I could say about like, if you do really want to work out more, just try to do free ones for like a while. You know what I mean? Like just see if that works for you. And you might be surprised. Like there's some like really good free workouts, you know, that aren't like the most strenuous. It's not like beach body, like do 19 burpees and then like run around your couch. Like, okay, maybe. But
and then run around your couch. Yeah.
I mean, you know,
have you done beach body? Yeah.
Yes, but it's just wild things. I was running around my couch instead of doing what he was doing. He's like,
you're just trying to get away from the video. Yeah.
I'm like, I need a lap.
Yeah.
But anyways, continue. So I understand where that comes from.
Yeah, I wish Ryann would have given me this advice a few months ago, because I totally bought a gym membership and I have yet to have gone.
Which gym though?
It's called In Shape.
Oh, okay. So it's not like a chain.
It might be. I think it is actually in parts of California. I don't know if I saw that it's outside of California. But it is nice. It's probably the nicest gym I found in you know, my area. It has a pool, which I'm like not going in, but I like the fact that it has a pool. I don't want to swim with a bunch of strangers, but also very chlorinated. Obviously they have to keep it super chlorinated, but it's like, you know, 5 minutes in, your eyes are like burning out of your head and your hairs turn green and like your skin feels disgusting and no thank you. Yeah. So but it has like a track on the second floor. There's like a personal workout room for like women only, if that's more comfortable for you. There are different like sections. I don't know. It seemed really cool. I went in, I did a tour. I got like a discount sign up fee. So I'm not paying like an arm and a leg.
Right.
But to your point, has my ass taken myself back after that tour? No. And I know I'm busy, but like, you can make time. You make time for everything else in your life, and I could be making time for this. So
no, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. And you know yourself.
Victim to this. But I've had like ups and then lulls of working out. I do enjoy it. I do think there's a lot of like mental clarity it helps with as well, and like emotional, you know, like it definitely helps me feel just less of my feelings, more, you know, what is it, serotonin in your brain. So I do think there are other factors that are mental that it's really beneficial for as well. Obviously your physical, but at least in my experience, you know, I do like working out for a lot of those benefits too. So
that is true. That is true. I think, but it works both ways, because I know for me, like when I got really into like going very seriously, I do know that sometimes it also had a negative effect where like I was like very anxious about when I wouldn't go. And I like felt bad, you know, like because I like group classes. That was like the only thing that ever really stuck for me. Was because there was accountability. Like there was people there that I, you know, like kind of knew. I didn't really know them, but like I kind of knew them. And it was like, oh, I didn't see you here on Tuesday. Like, where were you? You know, and sometimes I was just like, fuck off, Becky. Like, you know, like, no, I wasn't here. I wanted to watch a TV show or do literally anything besides come here and sweat next to you.
Right. That's true. You shouldn't get on your own case about, you know, like set realistic goals. Like you were saying before, like, don't say, okay, I'm going to the gym every day now that it's a new year. No, but say maybe I'm going to go 3 times this week. I'm not going to set specific days. I'm just going to find what works with my schedule. Exactly. And if I can't make it, then I'll go for a walk that day or something. Right.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Yeah. That's realistic with it. And, you know, a lot of people that go all the time, that might just be their thing, you know, like,
right.
You know, some people would rather, you know, exhaust themselves in the gym than something else, than a more social setting or something like that. I know for a lot of people that are a little bit more introverted, tend to like places like that, because it's kind of just like the place that they can go to like get out some of their energy without having to be around people, you know. But if you're a social person like me, then you might have a little bit more of a belly, because, you know, you'd rather sit around and talk to people. Mike.
Yeah. Rather start a podcast than go to the gym. That was really what happened. We just didn't want to go to the gym. So here we are.
That checks out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see that for us.
So next one kind of ties in losing weight, which is 48%. So I don't know why they're separate.
Hold on. Say that one more time. I'm sorry. You froze. Say it.
Oh, I did. Okay. So the next one is losing weight, which is 48%, but this ties right into the last one. So I'm not sure if people I guess the other one's doing more exercise, improving your fitness, versus losing weight, which could mean just changing your diet.
Yeah. Right.
So I guess people aren't being specific when they want to say lose weight.
Yeah.
Or some of these are more specific.
Yeah. I think also too, yeah, with your diet, like one thing for me that worked, not during the pandemic, that those were unprecedented times. I'm sorry, I'm buying cookies every time I go to the store. But before that, something that worked for me, as far as like changing diet, not getting on a diet, like, no, what you eat is your diet. Like, don't try to get on a diet. To me, I just think diet culture is so fucking weird. I think the pressure people put on themselves to like stay within these boxes, I'm just like, I don't think it's worth it. And I think it has a really negative effect on your like psyche. But if you do want to change something about your diet, maybe just take like one thing out. You know what I mean? Like maybe not take all sweets out, because obviously you like them. You know, obviously that's something that you like. But maybe just take one thing out that, you know, like, you know, or replace it, you know, like one thing that I did was like, I really like fruit, but when I go to the store, it's a lot easier to buy cookies because they last longer. And when I didn't have as much money, I'm like, okay, even though I like fruit and it's sweet and it might like fulfill that sweet craving, I don't have money enough that if it goes bad, because I actually ended up wanting the cookies, I don't have enough to get both. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like maybe trying to replace like one thing at a time might be a little bit more sustainable. But yeah, I think like with diet culture, you just got to be careful, because again, right, going back to your mental health, you're going to just get really down on yourself if you end up not fulfilling it, you know, and you're like,
right,
I'll never change. And it's like, well, you can just be easy on yourself, right? Like, just like Adele says in her new album, you know, easy on me. Just
good call out.
Hey, that's a good fucking song.
Still on repeat. I know. So good. So good. So good.
But yeah. So be easy on yourself.
You know? In the words of Adele.
Yeah.
All right. Next one is saving more money.
Ugh.
I know.
Yeah. Have you met anyone in our generation? Like, it's not gonna happen. Okay. This is the thing. So a lot of times when it comes to saving money, people are like, just cut out like, you know, the iced coffee that you get in the morning, or just like stop, you know, And it's like, that's not why I'm in debt.
Right. My iced coffees did not give me $40,000 in student loans.
Right.
So.
Exactly.
No, like, yeah, Starbucks is the reason that I'm not going to be able to buy a house in my lifetime.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If you just eat out once less than, you know, once a month, you just, you know, dine in instead of dining out, you will like have like $1,200 at the end of the year. And I'm like, cool. I can pay like my car off for 2 months. That's fun.
Right. Right. And you're like, that dinner out is the only thing I have to look forward to in the last like 2 weeks.
Right.
I'm fucking going to sushi. I don't care if it costs $100.
Yeah. Right.
The only bright light I have right now in my life. So don't take that away from me, Lisa.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And like, that's the thing too. So if you think about whatever workplace you find yourself, whether it be an office or service job or honestly anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
If there's any type of rewards that like upper management is going to try to give you, right? Like as like a pep talk for not giving you the pay raise that you deserve, it's going to be donuts, cookies, pizza. What else is a popular one? Donuts, cookies, pizza, chips, free coffee one morning. That's about it, right? Like those are like the main
yeah. Oh,
ones.
like bagels.
Bagels.
Simply bring in bagels. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So everything that comes free, right? Because it's cheaper, right? Things that are fattening and stuff like that tend to be cheaper. You're supposed to now say no to, because not only are you on a diet and you just got a gym membership, but now you can't buy fucking iced coffee in the morning and you have like celery for your snack. And it's just like, where does it end? Like, can we just live our like fluffy debt-ridden lives? You know what I mean?
Right.
Can we just like go get tacos and not complain about
what a plan. Yes, let's go.
I mean, whatever.
Yeah. Saving more money though, I mean, that's true. I try. I'm not great at it. I've kind of resolved myself, like, the end of the year, it's Christmas, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yes.
So I mean, in some capacity I will try, but let me tell you, that probably means like $50, set aside from a paycheck. Like I'm not going to be one of those people who's not going to go to dinner, or you know what I mean?
Right.
Like I still enjoy those things. Like I need those for my happiness.
Right. I know. Yeah, exactly. That's for my mental health.
Yeah.
The only thing that I can give a little bit of advice is if you have a cashback card, like if any of your cards have cashback, I have been able to save that because it's basically like the money that comes from the cashback. Now, not always. I was not always in a position where I could save that. A lot of times that went like directly to my payment. I was like, okay, cool. Like $25 off of my payment for next month. But if you don't need that cashback immediately, that can be like funneled into like your savings account if you have one. So that has helped me because it's kind of like I didn't plan on having that money anyway. So you know what I mean? Like
looking at,
right. And I would get cash back, or I get cash back from going to like grocery stores and some eating out places, some online order stuff like that. So I do try to like make sure that that's the only money that like I don't necessarily touch. But the reality is, I mean, especially in this country, like the statistics are crazy. It's like 45% of people are like a disaster away from like going bankrupt. Like most people don't have enough savings for like a $400 to like $1,000 emergency.
Right. Yeah. It's crazy. Most people live paycheck to paycheck. Like it's really hard. It's really, really hard.
Right.
I think one of my tips is use DoorDash and Postmates less. And this is me telling myself to take my own advice. Morgan, stop paying double the price for the habit. Stop paying $30 for a chicken sandwich just for the convenience. Get your ass in your car and go pick it up if that's what you want. That one is like delivery fees, definitely.
Oh yeah.
We're paying for the convenience, but it's fucking expensive.
That is true. That's something
it adds up, I should say. I mean, it's nice once in a while, but it can really add up.
That is true. That's one thing that I don't have that problem with now that I'm back at work, because I'm already out. Yeah. So it's easy for me to just go and get it. Even if I order it on my phone, it's just easy for me to go pick it up.
Yes.
But yeah, like my partner, he'll order, like order on his phone every once in a while. Not often. He'll just like shoot me a text. I'm basically DoorDash at this point.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be nice if you got this. Like, I mean,
it'd be nice if you got this.
Yeah.
That's his passive way of asking. You're like, just ask me straightforward. Yeah. My therapist said you need to ask me that just say you want Taco Bell. Like, just say you want it or whatever he's wanting.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Exactly.
He's got weird taste. We've talked about this.
He has no taste. It's just whatever.
Yeah, no taste. Yeah, I was being generous.
Yeah. It's just so funny because I always make fun of him when he's like, oh, like if we get like some specialty dessert or something, he's like, oh, this is really good. And I just always kind of have like I just have like a smirk on because I'm like, it could be anything. And you'd say that. It's like, this dry tofu. No, I'm just kidding.
Right. I know. It's like, oh, this is so exotic. It's like a Snickers bar. It's like, wow. What is this?
Yeah, caramel throughout. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Where's my knife and handkerchief? No.
Oh my gosh.
But anywho.
Okay, so we have a few more here, so we'll just run through them real quick. Improving my diet was the next one, but I feel like we've touched on that, and we will do an episode on diet culture because Ryann and I do have a lot of thoughts there, and we'd love to do some research into that. Pursuing a career ambition, which I think is a great one. 21% said they would do that. Spending more time with family, 18% of people were shooting for that. Taking up a new hobby.
Okay.
So
yeah, that makes sense.
That was the next one. The next one is something else. So 14% said that. There are more below it, but something else just has its own random column of 14%.
Yeah.
So
that's just like us, having a midlife crisis or like a quarter life crisis.
Right.
That's
they're just like something else.
I just
like
need
over,
something
like
else.
Overarching.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. They're just like Belle and Beauty and the Beast. They're just like, I just want more than this provincial life has to offer,
True. These are some people having some real existential moments for the new year. They just lumped them into something else.
Yeah.
Spending less time on social media was the next one, which we all
I think, I don't know, I don't actually spend as much time as I used to because like I said, I'm back at work. And that is something that I can see, like, actually a lot of people that I hear saying that are like YouTubers and like Instagram people that I follow. They always say that they need to be like on it less, which I'm like, that's kind of interesting because it's your job. Like you're like the only people that actually have a reason to be on here. But I get it. I think social media, it's such a double-edged sword because it's like, oh, I'm being updated. I mean, that's basically like our version of news for a lot of people. My mom never turns it off at Channel 7 like her.
Oh, my grandma records it. She records the news. I'm like, they're gonna play the same thing, but she's in the house. It's not like she's going anywhere.
Right.
It's just like you can't change the channel because she'll be recording the 3:00 news, even though the same thing's going to be coming on at 6.
No, exactly. Yeah, that's hilarious.
It's but
that's real funny.
So lots of different kinds of resolutions. Obviously, like we said, 8% of people only achieve I don't know what that sentence was going to be. Obviously, like we said, only about 8% of people actually accomplish these goals that they set. So I wanted to wrap it up with some advice, which Ryann has provided many good tips and tricks for people. So got our own guru on board today. But how to make a resolution. Okay. Which the amount of articles online about how to make a resolution were like astounding. And you know what? I find that funny, but I also know I'm the kind of person who would look up. Like I would be like, okay, I'm going to make resolutions this year, new year, new me. So I thought, what do I do? What do I like? Should I write these down? Should I put them in my phone? Like, what should I do here? And I know my ass would get on Google and be like, how to make a New Year's resolution, which I did for this episode, obviously, but this was for research. So I could say I had an excuse, but I know, even though I'm laughing at how many articles on how to make a list of things that you want for yourself.
Right.
There are a plethora of articles.
That's great.
So many. So some of the stuff we touched on, but we'll just go down the list here. And they had a fun acronym. I don't know if it's fun, but acronyms in general are cool, good. We like them. We don't. I don't know.
Yeah. Morgan's New Year's resolution is to get better jokes. No, I'm just kidding.
Ouch. I hope Ryann's is to be a little nicer to her co-host. She used to love my jokes last year.
Yeah.
I don't know.
New year, new me. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, she's kind of a bitch. She's not being passive aggressive. She's being directly aggressive now.
There you
therapy.
Go.
I'm gonna have to talk to your therapist for me. I'm gonna talk to my therapist.
Yes.
Get a stronger backbone over here. Like, I can't hang out with Ryann anymore. She's really mean.
Yeah. Yeah. Our next episode will be about how to break up a podcast.
I know. Our final episode, you mean? Okay, so the acronym is SMART, S-M-A-R-T. And so it stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound.
Specific, measurable, and
achievable.
Hold on. Specific, measurable, achievable,
relevant, time bound.
Oh, time bound.
Okay. I feel like they thought of the acronym first and then thought about what they wanted it to be after.
I think so also.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
But, I mean, it's easy to remember,
fair.
I guess.
Yeah,
so,
that's fair.
So be it. So first one is specific. So your resolution should be absolutely clear. So making a concrete goal is really important rather than just vaguely saying, I want to lose weight.
Yeah, I agree.
Which I think is fair. Like, how much weight do you want to lose? When are you trying to lose it by? And then kind of to your point, like, what are you going to cut out? Like, what are you putting in place in order to make this happen?
Yeah. Yeah. Even just losing weight is too vague, I think. Like,
right.
Yeah, like what, because there's so many factors that could affect that. Like you could go into a deep depression and like lose weight. I mean, no, but I'm serious though. Like that's too vague. I feel like that's too broad, and like there could be so many negative ways as to you falling into that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. So the next one is measurable. So if you have like fitness or weight goals, obviously you can get on a scale or you can look at your muscle mass, and these are like measurable goals. But if you're trying to do something like, achieve a career goal, that might not be as measurable. So like, what can you write down and see like that actually shows progression in that goal? If it's a career goal, like maybe you want to find a mentor. Maybe you want to connect with people who are in that field already. Maybe there are some business courses that you could take, or, different things like that.
I like that. Yeah, that's so true. It's almost like we learned about this in like my teaching program. It's basically like the backwards. It's like it's called the spiral method, where basically you start with the end goal in mind and then like make points leading up to that. Like, this is the end goal of what I want, which is to be in a new career field. But what are all the steps that come before that, right? The first one is probably like creating a new resume, right? Like what is the first active step? Updating your LinkedIn, right? Like little things that honestly are the building blocks to how you get there. So
right, exactly. No, that's awesome example. That's interesting. I didn't know it was called this. What was it? Spiral method?
I think so. Hopefully, if any other teachers are listening, they're probably like, this dumb fucking bitch. What did she learn? But no, I think it's called the spiral method. I think that's what it's called. But it's basically like the backwards way of going about a goal. It's like, because a spiral, right? Like it has a starting point, but like you want to know what's at the end of the spiral and like what it takes to like build that spiral, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I like that. So next one, achievable. So it doesn't mean that you can't have huge goals, but stop trying to take on too much too fast, and you can't get there. I mean, this kind of ties into the last one, and Ryann had the perfect example. You're looking at your goal and it seems so far away that you feel like that whole in between space is just something you have no clue what goes in between you at point A and your goal at point C. Like where's B? What is B? And so if you make those smaller achievable goals, then you can actually see yourself progress to that ultimate goal.
Yeah.
So relevant. So is it a goal that really matters to you? Are you losing weight because you want to be healthier, because you want to feel more fit, because you want more mental clarity, because you want to implement a healthier diet? Or do you just feel like, this is like some kind of outside influence making you feel like, that you aren't good enough in some way? These, like in that example, is that goal coming from some sort of this says self-hate or remorse, which I feel like is very strong, but I know we have, like, we are our own worst critics. So maybe that's not too strong. Maybe you should really evaluate it in that kind of light to make sure you aren't just putting yourself down, you know?
Yeah. In hopes of changing something. Right. Exactly.
Right. Because even if you change it, you know, you have to work on your mindset towards yourself.
Right. No, it's true. A lot of our own self-hate, or I'm sorry, a lot of our goals that we set for ourselves come from self-hate and self-critique. And to a certain extent, there's a good way to improve and critique yourself, right? And to look inward and be introspective and, you know, look at your actions. But there's also a way to do that in a very, very negative way that will only breed negativity in your life more so. You know, like one of the people that I showed you that I follow, the girl that I used to work out with, Team Burns Fitness, you know, throw out the shout out for her. You know, one of her posts was basically a post on Instagram. She was basically talking about that her, when she was her smallest, you know, she was super unhappy. She was like, you know, a person who would show up to a party with like asparagus and chicken, like in a Tupperware, like ready to warm it up because she just didn't want to be tempted by all the other food there.
Yeah.
But like, that's no way to live. Like, also you're going to be kind of annoying, just like throwing it out there. People are just going to be kind of slightly annoyed unless you are a person of conviction and you're just like, nope, this is what I'm eating. Like, no problem, blah, 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 you know?
Right.
But in reality, you're probably going to feel a little bad about it because you feel bad for doing it. You know what I mean? If you're not committed to it. So if that's you, if you're like happy about it, and you're like, nope, this is what I want to eat. Like, that's it. Sure, do it. But if it comes from a place of just like, I'm not enough, unfortunately, that might not be the answer. So
yeah, absolutely. So last one is time bound. So kind of similar to achievable, a timeline towards reaching the goal. It should be more realistic. You know, if you're like, I want to lose 50 pounds by March. Okay, then you're kind of setting yourself up for disappointment, you know, so make smaller goals to build up to a larger goal. If you want to say, you know, this year I'm implementing X, Y, and Z, and then by the end of the year, hopefully I will have achieved my 50-pound weight, or, you know, weight loss for that example, at least.
Right.
Yeah. And I mean, that's it. I mean, that's our S.M.A.R.T. So I hope that helps if you're trying to think about New Year's resolutions, or if you have already thought about them and maybe they seem crazy and it's day 2 and you already had a box of cookies, or you found like some leftover, you know, chocolate from your stocking or whatever the case may be. Like, that's okay.
It's okay.
Enjoy the chocolate.
Right. Enjoy it.
Okay.
Eat it, you know. One thing I will say, this is just a little tip that I'll add. I do like sweets, and if they're in the house, I'll eat them, but I'm also a selfish person, so I don't want to share with anyone. So the way that I kind of try, I'm not perfect at this, and I'm probably doing the opposite of it right now as you listen to this. But one thing that I try to do is I try to share it. So I try to share it with somebody, whether it be my students at school, like I'll bring it with me. I'll try to share it with somebody, because somebody else also always wants a part of it, you know, even if it's like a Kit Kat. Well, it's COVID times, so like, you know, break it off before or something. I don't know. But anyways, point being, or like with my partner, like I hate sharing things. I'm like, no, it's mine. Like, could you just like leave those cookies alone? But now I'm trying to work on like, no, share it. Also like share the sugar. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need all 12 cookies.
Right.
But like, if you share
I think that kind of helps you in multiple ways.
Yeah,
because as
exactly.
you're saying that, I'm like, I'm not splitting my candy bar with anyone. What are you talking about?
Right.
So I think it probably makes you a kinder person in some sense. And then also, cut your calories in half. There you go.
I mean, it doesn't, exactly. It doesn't stop like the stink eye that I'm giving them while they're taking it. I'm like, I guess you can have it. They're like,
right. They're like, you just offered it. Why are you being mean? Right. I don't understand.
Like, I'm working on it. I'm a work in progress.
Right. Yeah. Barely a new year. Not yet new me. Yeah. So to wrap it up, I wanted to see if you, Ryann, have any New Year's resolutions.
Fuck no. Hell no. Nope.
Nothing?
No, I don't like them. I don't like them. Maybe do yoga more. I really but that's because I miss yoga. I really do miss yoga. I got really into it over the last few years, and I really do like it. And I bent over today and I felt like my check engine light came on. So I do want to get back into yoga, but there you go. That's something that I've done before. I know it's attainable. And that's just something that I want to do for my life. So no New Year's, like resolutions necessarily, but something that I would like to start getting back into. And that could come in the new year. Yes. Yoga for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
what about
a good
you?
One.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, same thing. I don't want to put like a lot of pressure on New Year's resolutions. I'm not like a huge resolution person. I'm not going to like totally do a 180 on my diet and like, I mean, I should, I feel like, but I know I won't, and so because I am one of those people who gets in my head and feels disappointed if I haven't achieved, all these goals that are unrealistic because I wasn't doing it in the smart way, obviously. Right. So yeah, I would say being more active. Like I was saying, I enjoy working out, not just for the physical benefits. It really does have a lot of mental benefits in my case or in my experience. And so I definitely want to implement that, and probably reading more. I love buying new books. Every time I see a recommendation, I just have so many on like my list on Amazon. I try not to buy all my books from Amazon because I really want to, buy from like other places. Yeah. But that's at least a place where I can save those recommendations, whether I see it on like social media or, from a friend or somewhere else. Like I just keep my running like wish list there. So
okay.
I would like to get through that list.
Yes, right. Yeah. And as you say that, I do want to work on making my house a home. I want to work on just, like little things in each room to make it feel a little bit more like home. Right now, I do feel like it's our house, but I don't feel like it's our home. And that's something that's super attainable that I could do. I just have kind of been putting off because I'm like busy, but I want to just do like maybe one thing a week. That's just like adding a little plant here or like adding maybe a picture here, getting our picture printed for this room, so I want to just do like one little thing a week to make this house a home. So
that's a good way of putting it too, because if you're feeling like, oh my gosh, we have so many things in this house we want to change, right? Then you're going to feel overwhelmed and anxious about actually getting started on that process because it's going to seem time consuming and expensive. But if you are like, okay, let me change 2 things a month. That's it. Let me just worry about, and if you do more, great. But if you don't, that's fine too. Yeah, exactly. And then you'll see the house become more of the home that you're looking for it to be without that pressure. Right. No, exactly. Exactly. And that's something that I've noticed that like, I know that would add to our mental, because when we do get cute little things to add, I'm like, that like now this room is so much more exciting to me, or, whatever. Or more comfortable, Right. So, has more character, more reflection of who you are. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I would say my last one is I would like to, and I don't know if this is possible, I'll have to check with my therapist, but I feel like I want to stop worrying so much about what other people think. Oof, yeah. Of me. I know. And I'm like, how do you do that? And as we're making this podcast where we hope people are listening, I do care what you guys think. So, yeah. And that's not to say I don't want to care what people think in that sense, but I see the way that it stops me, that fear stops me from doing things in my life. It feels almost so consuming sometimes that I'm afraid to do anything. Yeah. And I feel like I'm doing this work on one side, but I still feel this part of me that is holding myself back on this other side. So that's probably, so I got my physical goal. I got my mental goal, more reading. This will be my spiritual goal. There you go. No, I like that. That's fair. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. So I'll have to check back in with you in about March. And I know. I'm like, I read 2 books. I went to the gym once, and I'm worried everyone thinks I'm a disappointment. We'll see. We'll see where I'm at. No, I'm going to try really hard. Yeah, no, seriously. And not be disappointed in myself. It's all a learning experience, but I owe it to myself, and we all do, to do better for ourselves. Yeah. And give yourself that effort. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Because you deserve it.
Yes, definitely. That was fun.
Yay.
Thank you, Morgan.
This was fun. Yeah, no, thank you. I'm glad. Yeah. This was an interesting one. You know, New Year's resolutions, I feel like we could take them or leave them. It's either you're down for it, you're Googling how to do it, you're buying a new notebook to write them all down. I get it. You know, if you're going to commit, then commit.
Right.
But on the flip side, you're like, that's dumb. I'm not interested. These are bullshit, whatever. You know, I feel like I could go both ways.
No, exactly. So yeah, we will check back in time to time and see what happens. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, we would love to hear what your guys' New Year's resolutions are. So definitely hit us up on Instagram at Wrong the Podcast. Shoot us a DM or check out our story for quizzes and polls and all that good stuff. Want to hear from you guys. Thank you again for tuning in. You know, rate, review, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Of course, a huge thank you to our awesome interpreters tonight from ProBonoASL. We really appreciate you guys being here. You can check us out on YouTube for the visual conversation. And yeah. That's it. We'll see you in the next. We'll see you guys next week. Have a great evening. Or everything. We'll see you guys later. Bye.